Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Jared Lee, and I'm joined, as usual, by my lovely wife, Jamie Lee. So, Jamie, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Jared. How are you?
I'm doing well. You know, I think we've talked about before. We don't really watch so much TV.
No.
In general. Most things I consume, it's like in the background while I'm working or doing other things. Mm-hmm. But we started watching, there's a show we have been watching, Reacher, which I do enjoy that show.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? I never finished, at least I remember, the show Justified.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the same lines along Reacher. So I started watching that in the background. Mm-hmm. It was a really good show.
Yeah.
Like a modern day cowboy type show.
Yeah.
And I realized on some level, if I grew up in Kentucky, I think I would wear a Stetson hat.
You think?
Listen, after watching that show and watching Reacher, maybe I should have been a U.S. Marshal.
Well,
imagine if I just walked in like Deputy Marshal Jared Lee. That just has a good ring to it. In a cowboy hat with a little bit of swagger.
I've been watching Love is Blind season 8, and
that show seems insane to me.
It's insane.
I've never watched it. You were explaining it to me, and it just seems bonkers.
Yeah. So in case you're curious of what this show is and you haven't heard of it, basically they pick a city. And this city for this season is I forgot the city, but it's in Minnesota. And I think they have, I want to say like 16 people, like 8 men, 8 women. Maybe it's more than that. I can't remember. And they are going into pods and basically having dates with the other gender, or the other man or other woman in these pods, and they can't see them. They're separated by a wall. And they go on these dates, and they basically have a week to decide if they are matching up with anybody, if anybody's like vibing with them, and then they have to propose after a week.
This seems very rushed.
And you can't see the person until after you propose.
That is
after a week.
That's a gamble.
Yeah.
That is I'm going all in playing poker on like, I just have 2 cards. I'm going all in.
Right. It's like, okay, hey, so now we're engaged. Then they go to like Mexico or something for a week and actually like see each other and like spend time together. And then 3 weeks later, they get married if it works out.
Well, and I was asking
and I'm like, whoa.
I was asking you, do any of these people stay together? And apparently some have.
So I watched last season. And I haven't kept up with that, like about the people, but I watched the very first season like 6 years ago, and I just hadn't watched it up until last year. And there's 2 couples still that are together, married with kids.
Well,
isn't that crazy?
Good for them.
So it actually worked for them. But anyway, it's crazy concept. It's just chaos because like you're just looking at these couples going like, oh, you're having issues with this person that you just met? Cool. That's a shocker. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't talk about your finances. You didn't talk about anything that would be important to a marriage. Shocker.
I saw a clip on that show one time, and I think it's also, I'm unaware as to how like insane other people are. Like that, you're like, I have this thing, by the way, about me. I spend $10,000 a week on, something where you're like, what? Like, it's just these weird things. Like, your weirdest quirk. Yeah. Okay, we'll just put all cards on the table. The weirdest quirk you had, and this is by far the weirdest one you had when we were dating, and it's not even that weird. I was just like, what? I'm sure you remember this. You would just use socks once. And I remember we were dating, and you were like, you threw away a pair of socks, and I was like, why'd you throw them away? And you're like, oh, I wear them once and throw them away. I'm like, you what? Because I have socks I've had since I was like 18.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
And I'm like, wait a minute. What? I was like, what? And then I remember being like, okay, well, we can't have an endless sock budget if this is going to work. And you're like, okay. And like, you were just.
But here's the thing though. Like, I don't like socks in general. Like, I don't like wearing socks.
Well, true.
So when I would wear socks, it was very infrequent, to be fair.
Right. True. Yeah. But to your credit, you were just like, okay, that's fair.
I don't throw away my socks now. Okay.
Yeah. No, I remember that was like the only thing, and I was like, I think that's the only weird thing about her is that.
Well, I guess that's good.
Did I have anything that was like weird at first?
I mean, no, I guess not.
Well, I am perfect.
Goodness gracious.
Anyways, no need. All right. Well, we're not going to talk about TV shows, although that could make for a fun podcast. Talk about Love is Blind and just react to it.
No, I don't know if you knew, Jared. People do this.
Oh, I know they do.
People do this, yeah.
I know they do. Yep. I don't think I'd be very good at one of those. I'd be like, What? Why are they doing? I would just be like the what do they call that? The straight man, where they just don't know what's going on. Like you're the audience.
Oh no,
I don't know what they call that. There's sometimes you have that where like that person is dumb about it because they don't know, so like they use them to explain it to the audience because they generally don't know. I would just be that person the whole time.
Gotcha.
But we're not going to talk about that. We actually have some news we're going to talk about today, including how did the no virtual queue go for Cosmic Rewind. Mm-hmm. I think some people were surprised. I wasn't too surprised at how it went, but we'll talk about that.
Okay.
There's some rumors we're going to talk about as well. And then we have, since I also was unaware, because I don't pay attention to pop culture stuff much, really. The Oscars are apparently this weekend.
Yeah.
And in the spirit of that, we are going to have what, Jamie?
The Disney Deluxe Hotel Awards.
I wanted to get some actual like theme music, but I didn't have time.
Which basically means we're going to have some categories like they do at the Oscars, where they award best in, costuming or makeup or direction. Here it's best location, best theming, best transportation, etc. And at the end, we'll award a best resort hotel.
And they may find love.
What?
We're going to pin the hotels against each other to find out who would make the best couple.
Is this Love Is Blind?
That's what I was trying to bring it all in, all encompassing. But yes, that's what we're going to do today.
Okay.
Not the Love Is Blind part, but before we do that, I just want to remind everybody, if you're watching us on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you're not watching us on YouTube, you should. So you can go over to YouTube over at CTM Podcast on YouTube, and you can watch video versions of the show over there if you'd rather do that versus the audio version. And if you do listen on the audio version, the old, reliable, trusty one that I believe the audio podcast would be a U.S. Marshal. They'd be U.S. Deputy Marshal audio podcasting. You can find us on all the major platforms there. To ask you to please subscribe and leave us a review. We'd greatly appreciate that. Helps us continue to grow the show. And of course, if you're looking for some fantastic shirts and apparel, you can go over to ctmapparelco.com, and that is for Capture the Magic apparel. And we have the comfiest shirts you will find. We have next level comfort colors. We have hoodies, sweatshirts, whatever you would like a shirt to have a design on. We can make that for you as we make everything in-house. We can make it custom, not really custom, but we can make it to your liking, whatever shirt you would like. And everything we design in-house, print in-house, and ship it out to you. So it's the highest of quality, and it's great apparel for going to the theme parks or just wearing it around town, around the house, whatever you like to do. And for being a listener of the show, you can get 15% off of your order by using the promo code CTM Podcast. That'll get you 15% off. Plus, if you order $50 or more, you get free shipping on top of that. So again, go to ctmapparelco.com, use the promo code CTM Podcast, and get 15% off of your order and get some great shirts in return. So,
all right,
go check that out. So, all right, well, let's get to the news. So the first story we have is the menus for the outdoor kitchens at EPCOT International Flower and Garden Festival have been released.
Yay.
And we're going to go by them one by one.
Absolutely not.
We're not doing that. Okay.
Okay, so the foodie guide is out, and it basically gives you the menus for all of the outdoor kitchens, plus some of the permanent structures that are there, like the funnel cake stand and Joffrey's stands. They're included as well. And just FYI, Flower and Garden Festival starts next Wednesday, March 5th, and goes through June 2nd. And just real quick, just going to talk about a couple of things. So they do have 2 new outdoor kitchens this year. They've got Beach Grub and Yacht Grub, which, as you can tell, it's Beach Club and Yacht Club inspired. So Beach Grub has a seafood bake. They've got the grilled street corn on the cob, which it was in a different place last year. And then a new s'mores bar, which looks pretty good.
A s'mores bar?
A s'mores bar. Brownie, dark chocolate, toasted meringue, and smoked graham cracker.
See, that makes me think there's an actual like all-you-can-eat bar of s'mores.
No.
And you can go back up to it.
An actual thing you can hold in your hand. Yep.
A s'mores bar probably wouldn't work on a big scale, like during a festival.
Oh, okay.
I feel like that would be a bad thing for the general public, maybe.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the Beach Grub menu. And they have also coconut water and coconut water with Siesta Key toasted coconut rum, which is new as well. Over at Yacht Grub, they've got a trio dips and chips. They've got a meat assorti, which looks a lot just like, I don't know, I'm getting charcuterie vibes.
I was gonna say, it's very charcuterie-like.
It kind of is. Not crackers or anything, but it has that vibe.
Do they serve it to you while wearing captain hats?
You know what?
If they
didn't say.
Be very
They
disappointed.
didn't say. And then a assorted artisanal cheeses and accompaniments. Again, very charcuterie, big vibes.
It's
about
things
that.
you would eat on a yacht while listening to Kenny G.
And they have some new drinks as well, obviously. There's one, it's like an elderflower sparkling cocktail, which is sparkling wine, Seagram's club soda, and Saint Germain elderflower liqueur. And they have the similar ones with lemon and orange, and you can also get it in a flight. So those are the new things over in those two places. And this is over in the Imagination Walkway between World Showcase and the Imagination Pavilion, if you're curious. This is also the place where the playground's going to be, the new one.
So are they having the older one too? Or is that one not?
Yeah.
Oh, so they got
because
two?
It's over there and it's ready to go. Like it's open and all the time. So
all right.
It's going to be there too. But so there's really not that many new items this year. And I think we mentioned this when we talked about the Festival of the Arts menus, is that they tend to are scaling back on new items every year.
Yeah,
So,
I've noticed that. I'm wondering if they just don't feel like they need to.
I don't know. There's more new drinks than anything.
People do like
which
to
is
drink.
which is interesting. So, looking at the menus, I don't think there's anything new food wise at Mexico, Norway, China, Germany. I think Italy. There's one new item in America, none in Japan, none in Morocco, none in France, and I think none in Canada. Now, there might be new drinks there, but the food is what's the same. And I just thought that was pretty interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they just maybe they've just figured over the years people buy about the same amount of stuff no matter what the menus are. Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe. I don't know.
Or they don't want to spend the money on R&D for it. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like basically the only like new food stuff that's in World Showcase is in the Isla Fresca. And that is the one that's like right next to France, like between France and Morocco. And they've got Jamaican jerk chicken. One of those is a new one. They got a seafood ceviche, and they got a coconut chocolate flan, and a new like hard cider as well. So that's the only thing that's new at World Showcase. Everything else is over on the other side.
Yeah, I'm looking at BrunchCot, and I think it's
yeah.
exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
They have the
avocado toast.
They got those cinnamon bites. Those cinnamon bites are very good.
I would get those every year.
Yeah,
I would get those every year.
They have the terrible.
Oh gosh, the biscuits and gravy.
It's impossible sausage, which immediately I was like, no, I'm good. And then you tried it.
Oh, that was the worst thing ever.
And it was not good.
Oh, we hated that. Yeah.
And anyway, if you're gonna get biscuits and gravy, everybody knows you go to some, hole in the wall breakfast place. It's probably the best biscuits and gravy you've ever had.
It's true. They do have a Provence poutine, and that's at Refreshment Port. And it's herbe de Provence, seasoned French fries, goat brie, lavender honey, hazelnut. Never mind. Sorry. It's got hazelnut. I can't have hazelnut.
I can tell you, at least from last year, something that was not good that I see back on the menu is over at the Honey Bistro, is they have that, what is it? Oh, not the Honey Bistro, sorry. It's at the Pineapple Promenade. It's that hot dog that's got, let's see, spicy hot dog with pineapple chutney and plantain chips.
Oh, that was weird.
At least the one I had was not good. It was like
weird.
The bun was soggy.
Yeah.
And really a hot dog, and let's be honest, a hot dog or a bratwurst, all you need is ketchup and mustard.
Yeah.
And I know that may be controversial because some people want only ketchup or mustard. As I've always said, ketchup and mustard on a hot dog or bratwurst, completely acceptable. Ketchup on a corn dog, straight to jail.
Ketchup.
I say, how do I say it? What do I say?
It's not catsup.
I didn't say catsup. I said
yeah,
ketchup.
but that's how you. Okay.
I said ketchup.
You say ketchup. It's not ketchup. Like let's play ketchup. Like if you haven't seen someone.
How am I supposed to say
it's ketchup.
That's what I'm saying. Ketchup.
No, you're not. You're saying ketchup. Like a cat.
Listen, I'm from Missouri.
It's a ket.
I work with what I was given. Okay.
But I'm from Missouri. I don't say
I
ketchup.
went to public school. Okay.
Oh, you sure did.
Okay.
Okay.
Not all of us had fancy education.
All right.
I learned how to say ketchup on the streets.
One more thing I want to mention. Connections Eatery. They have a I don't know what this is. Lemon lavender Baumkuchen. I don't know what that is.
What'd you call me?
Okay. I'm not sure what that. Like I said, I don't know what that is. With lavender anglaise, is that a dessert?
I have no clue.
Okay. Well, the other thing is a carrot cake liege waffle. They do those waffles every festival where they pre-package them and they're like the big waffles. This one is a carrot cake one, and wouldn't you know it, it comes with pecans, and I cannot have it. I wish I could like request them to leave it off, but they pre-make them, so I can't.
I mean, carrot cake is good. Yeah, I'm not
Love
a big
carrot
fan.
cake.
Just let's leave nuts off dessert.
I'm okay with that. I can't have nuts.
I don't like it, but
Yeah. But anyway, so we'll do a bigger preview of the festival next week. But this is just a couple of things about the menus we wanted to mention.
it's just a teaser.
Just a teaser.
Just giving you a taste.
And we'll be able to go to the festival next Friday to check it out. And our children are coming with us. Yay.
They will love being at EPCOT.
All day. They're going to love it.
They'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, our next story is, like we mentioned in the pre-show, the first days of using a standby line at Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind and Tiana's Bay Adventure haven't been as bad, at least at Cosmic Rewind, as some people were thinking it would be. There was a lot of chatter about how bad this would be and the lines for it and things like that. So on the first day, Guardians averaged 60 to 70 minute wait most of the day, although parts of the day were, I think now, like midday, a lot of times it was like down to 50 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I think toward the end of the night, it was almost down to like 35 minutes.
I mean, into the end of the night makes sense. Yeah.
And then Tiana's was not much there, like
20 to 30 at the most.
Yeah. So obviously with Guardians, you saw a surge at park opening because
Yeah.
it's like rope drop early entries. You know, it's a popular ride, but it does bring into the question, like seeing this, there obviously, at least in my mind, there wasn't a need to just have virtual queue because it operates basically just as like a popular. I mean, how Frozen operated for a long time, like it's popular, but it's not insane. You weren't looking at like some people were saying you're going to see 4-hour waits. That obviously wasn't the case.
So, in your opinion, do you think that they kept it as long as they did to push people to buy more lightning lanes? Because if you didn't get a virtual queue, your only other option was to buy one.
See, it's either that or by, like we talked about last week, by switching over to a regular standby, you potentially could open up more lightning lanes to sell. We don't know how many they sell or how many, if they change that number. It's possible. Either way, they could have done it that way.
Yeah.
At the same time as well, I wonder how much Disney is aware of when people look at wait times. Because then that becomes the narrative of parks not being busy. So if you look at the wait time for Guardians and say it's at 50 minutes or 40 minutes, do they, versus having a virtual queue of it, you don't know. You just know you have the virtual queue and you either get one or you don't.
Right.
I think the parks have wanted to use virtual queues in principle because it allows, you're technically waiting in line. You can go, in theory, people go buy stuff. People go
spend money elsewhere.
Right. I just, like we said last week, I think from the guest experience, I think it just allows you the freedom to choose. Like you can pick your time. Like if you'd rather wait till the end of the night and it's less busy, or what we've talked about before, if you really want to ride it, go in there right before park close and you don't have the lightning lane running and you probably can get through that line pretty quickly instead of just having, and I think too, like virtual queues, your day is dictated by your boarding time, your boarding group.
Yeah.
So you really don't have control over your day. Whereas this, you kind of have more control.
The only thing is with Tiana's, because it's still a new ride, and even though it's colder right now, maybe not as many people want to ride it right now, but putting it just with standby and multipass, I think, I don't think it'll be bad right now. I think that once we get to the summer and it's hot, then the line will pick up, like it'll be busier. And I think also too, we have to think about spring break coming up. I think, yes, it has been, very low as far as we thought it would be for Guardians at like 50 minutes, sometimes 40 or whatever. But I think a spring break, it's going to be different. It just is. So them starting it this week when it's kind of not an off week per se, but it's a week where the crowds are just not very high right now is a good way to like test it and see before the spring break crowds come in and everything gets kind of crazy.
I think undoubtedly if you want to ride Cosmic Rewind, it's going to be the busiest in the morning.
Yeah.
So
looks like it.
I would say
maybe wait
midday toward the end of the night. You're going to be
Yeah.
able to find pockets in there where it's not as bad.
Yeah.
So I think that'll probably be a pretty good strategy there. But yeah. I mean, it doesn't. Now I'm sure they'll still use virtual queues on new attractions. Like I'm sure they'll use it for test track and things like that. But I do wonder if the virtual queues staying in place for years, like we've seen with Guardians and some other rides, if that's something that goes away just because I think this does show it's just not needed.
Yeah.
Like obviously when a ride's brand new or something like that, like that's one scenario to try and, deal with the demand of a ride. But
Yeah.
I kind of hope, and again, I know it has its pros and cons. People that go a lot obviously like the virtual queues. You know how to work the system. You can grab one. But I think the overall guest experience, people would just rather choose to wait in line or have a chance to ride something if they really want to ride it versus essentially like a digital, like a lottery on your phone first thing in the morning.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think so.
Well, I like to hear that.
Our
Thank
daughter
you.
wants to ride it again, so I'm going to be riding it with her, hopefully next Friday.
She did say she wants to ride that and she wants to ride Hagrid's over at Universal.
I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden she's like, I think I'm ready. I'm like, no, you're not. You're little. You're tiny. You're a baby.
Yeah,
But not really.
she needs to stop growing.
Stop it.
It's becoming a thing.
It's too much.
Both of them are just getting huge and long.
I can't.
Well,
Anyway.
but she has a tendency. She did that with like Big Thunder. The first time we rode it, it was like too much for her, and then 6 months, a year later, she loved it. So she kind of tends. I'm glad that she doesn't ride something and it freaks her out a little bit, and then she just writes it off forever. She's willing to like, go back to. Although she's ridden Guardians like probably four times.
3.
Three? Okay, so she's ridden it more than once, I think. But
Yeah.
I think it was a little intense for her. But yeah, I think
That was like 2 years ago now at this point.
This is true.
Yeah.
Quit reminding me of my children's ages.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
But yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. I'll be very curious how virtual queue is handled with like Test Track, and I'll be very curious. We don't have any details about Test Track. I mean, they haven't
Not
released
really.
much,
Not much.
and I'm genuinely curious about the demand for it when it reopens. Like, are people, going to be really flocking to it? Are they still going to go toward like Cosmic? Because I think Test Track's a known thing. I mean, it's been there for a long time. The basis of the ride is the same. So I'm not saying it won't be busy, but I still think Cosmic will have a bigger demand than Test Track.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
We will see. We'll see. So, all right. Well, the next news story is it's a rumor. So
It is a rumor.
going to say rumor of this, but a rumor is that Disney World and Disneyland may start using a dynamic ticket pricing model similar to what you see with airlines.
And this was, we found this Blog Mickey, I think.
Blog Mickey's the one that wrote an article on
Yeah, they
this.
said they're people like their sources, so we want to give them credit for this. Yeah, so basically what it would be was prices of tickets would first be set based on like the season, events, day of the week, etc., as they are now. And like right now, once they set the ticket prices, they don't change them. You could buy a ticket for a day in the future at any time, and it's going to be that same price. And what they're saying that might happen is that it's going to be changing based on like demand. So if you decide, hey, that price of that ticket's $165 this day, you could go 2 days later and it could be $175.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
it could change based on, again, demand, or if there's any kind of surge pricing. Let's say they announce an opening date for a certain attraction or something, they might shoot the price up then
yes.
based on that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's kind of.
Well, if
how
you
it
read
is.
more in the article, they say, at least according to their sources, the pricing could change by the hour.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, anytime.
So when you look at this, the first thing that comes to mind is, first off, it would make going to Disney even more complicated. Because not only is buying tickets and things like planning and all that stuff already complicated, then it would be this added pressure of, when do we buy the tickets? Because we need to buy them now, because obviously I think this is also a way for people to book earlier to try and lock in a price, because it would be a gamble to like I said, in this model, it could go down. It's possible. It could go down.
I don't see that happening, but I could.
It could.
Yeah.
Theoretically speaking, it could.
Yeah.
So I think, it's probably Disney maybe wanting to raise ticket prices without having to come out and say we're raising ticket prices and take all the flack they typically do when they do that, because they've gotten a lot of heat, even from mainstream outlets openly talking about Disney's price hikes lately. There's been, I mean, that has become a very common narrative even in mainstream outlets about this.
Yeah.
So this may be Disney still raising ticket prices, but trying to do it under the guise of this variable ticket model. But the other thing that struck me is it also could be a way for Disney to lower ticket prices without having to essentially admit, maybe due to the narrative and people criticizing them about pricing, that their pricing is too high. Because the timing of this would be interesting if they implement this before the summer and you have Epic Universe opening. Disney, and I think there was a Forbes article today that also came out that was talking about the potential impact of Epic Universe on Disney. Disney themselves have said they anticipate a small impact. So whatever small is, we don't know. If they were looking at a scenario where they are impacted by it, they could potentially lower ticket prices on lower demand days to try and have more people into the parks. Because one thing they wouldn't want optically would be lower, I'm not going to say empty, but not very full parks, because that would become the narrative, and that's something they don't want. I think they're very aware of their optics. So potentially it could be a way for them to have lower ticket prices on top of the discounts that they're running without having to come out and say, okay, we're lowering ticket prices by, whatever it is. And then everyone says, oh yeah, of course your tickets are too expensive, blah, blah, blah. I think that is potentially part of this as well.
Yeah, could be.
So I think it could be your trip gets more expensive if you wait, and it also could be cheaper depending on other factors. But again, this is a rumor. They did do this out in Disneyland Paris, which has kind of been the testing ground for a lot of the things they do. They kind of do it out in Paris, see how it goes, and sometimes bring it into the States. So if you had to guess, do you think this will end up happening?
Yeah. Universal already does this.
They don't do it by hour, though.
Not necessarily by hour, but I'm just saying like that type of pricing model, and especially with like the hotels, Lowe's hotels.
Hotels are very known for this.
They do that. They do that too.
Well, they did say in that same article it could come to the Disney hotels as well.
Yeah. I mean, like it's I don't like it, of course, because that could mean that you paid $20 more than you would have like an hour ago.
Right.
Which is kind of like, ugh. But if it's encouraging people to buy early, then I can understand that. If it's because they want to set a baseline price at a different amount than they are now, whether it's higher or lower, I can understand that too. I mean, you just make more money, or you kind of take advantage of, or get the most out of the days that are for sale. You know what I mean? Like, they're just getting the most that they can. They're a business. Well,
I mean, Disney wants to make more money. I mean, obviously any business does, but I do think they'll do this. I think all the writing's on the wall that they'll do it. And it's kind of a cover both ways. You could have lower ticket prices to try and, just like, oh, it's the variable ticket model of pricing. And you can have higher prices, blaming it on the same thing without coming out and saying tickets are going up 10% or what, every year seemingly Disney raises prices across the board. It may be a way for them to still raise ticket prices, but not have to come out and say that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
I think it's possible, but I do think it's going to happen.
Yep.
So
just a rumor right now, but we'll see.
I think it'll happen, and I also think it'll happen before the summer, if I were to guess.
Okay.
That would be my prediction, but we'll see on that one. Well, and just as a note, if you're planning to go to Disney anytime soon, there are lots of refurbishments going on. Mm-hmm. A lot. I mean, obviously Big Thunder, you got Astro Orbiter. I do believe the Grand Fiesta Tour is under refurbishment. I can't remember the list off the top of my head, but there are a lot of refurbishments going on right now.
Dinoland is partially closed. It's have to be a Bugs closing next month. The Mickey and Minnie meet and greet at Animal Kingdom is closed right now for, I think, a couple days. But again, it's like back and forth. So our thing is just being like, it's a time of like a lot of refurbishments and a lot of like new things coming. So just, be aware of that before you go so you're not surprised.
And I do wonder, there is this trend I've noticed of maybe Disney going in and fixing things that have needed to be fixed. They seem to be motivated to do that right now. The lighting effects on Slinky Dog Dash have seemingly been fixed. Mm-hmm. There's a door in Hollywood Studios that's been broken, or a wall, for years.
Remember that? It fell.
Yeah, and they're fixing that. Like, there seems to be a little bit of an effort being made to get some things that have not been operating correctly on rides and things working. So... now, my hope is that Disney maintenance is getting the attention that it needs, and they decided to put more effort and focus on this. I hope that's what it is, and we see more of an improvement in that going forward. That's been something I've talked about for a very long time. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that is happening with that, but that is something also going on. There seems to be a lot of refurbs and a lot of refreshments, I guess you could just say, around the parks.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that's a good thing that they're doing. So just to note that that's going on there. And then also last thing we'll mention is online ordering is now available for the cookie bar at the Summer House on the lake.
At Disney Springs.
Yes.
We like this place. We like this cookie bar.
They're very good cookies. Not as much of a... I mean, I don't know. You don't really need to online order here because it's never that busy of a line. And the cookies are...
You can just go and pick it up.
Yeah, and I think the cookies are just as good as Gideon's. I'm not...
Yep.
This may be controversial. I'm not the biggest fan of Gideon's.
I know you're not. But yeah, these cookies, I mean, they have a variety too. They have a lot of different kinds. And they have like brownies and they have blondies and they have...
They have coffee there too.
Yeah, I mean, they've got lots of stuff. So yeah, that's kind of cool that you can do that. I think it's just on the website right now. There's not an app.
Yeah. But you can't do that. And I tell people all the time, if you look at Gideon's, it's not that Gideon's is terrible. Like, it's just the chocolate chip cookies, there's just too much chocolate chips in it for me. And they have some good stuff. But you look at that line half the time, like it's just, to me, not worth waiting in that line when you can just walk down to Summer House, walk right up in there, get cookies, and get out within like 5 to 10 minutes. And I think they're just as good, and they're pretty big. I think they're actually bigger cookies than you get at Gideon's.
Yeah, they're pretty big. Yeah.
So you can do that if you're at Disney Springs and you like a cookie.
Yes, and I do want to mention one other thing I didn't write down.
How dare you?
But so Mardi Gras is coming up, and if you go to Port Orleans French Quarter on Tuesday, the 4th, which is Fat Tuesday, they will have a parade.
Really?
For a Mardi Gras parade. Yep. It's like I think the cast members put it on. It's like golf carts, and they use the carriage.
Did they throw beads?
I don't remember if they throw beads or not. I think maybe briefly, or they at least wear them. But Tiana's there. I mean, like it's cute. I've never seen it, but I would like to.
Well, the rumor that's been out there for a while is that you have Tiana's. Likely Pecos Bill's is going to become some sort of Tiana's place.
Yeah.
Eating wise. The rumor has been out there for a bit that they will do some sort of Mardi Gras thing in that area for, like, I don't know if it'd be a food festival or something, but something Mardi Gras related in the parks in that area, because it'd be like a New Orleans type area back there.
That'd be crazy. That'd be cool.
It'd be interesting how they would set that up.
I don't know.
It's just a little corner over there.
Yeah.
But that's been a rumor out there for, rumors are rumors, but that's something that's been out there for a bit. But
okay.
We have our Disney Deluxe Hotel Awards.
Thank you. Welcome to the award ceremony, guys.
We don't have guest presenters.
We have some great nominees tonight, and I'm just kidding.
I'm already asleep.
Okay, so I have stayed at all of the Disney resorts, all the deluxe, and Jared stayed at all of them except for one, which hopefully we'll be able to stay there soon. You've never stayed at Yacht Club. That's the only one you have.
Yeah, but it's basically Beach Club.
It's similar, but it is not the same.
I'm an honorary captain, so technically I think I get graduated in. But yes, I haven't stayed overnight at Yacht Club.
So basically how our award show is going to go here. We have 8 deluxe resorts that we get to choose from. We're not including DVC in this, just deluxe resorts. And we have some categories here. Can I read the categories, Jared?
You may.
Okay, so we've got best location, best theming, best transportation, best dining, best pool, best resort activities, best views, best themed rooms, and then the best of the best. Basically, what do we think is the best?
Like the
hotel?
the best picture.
It's the best picture award, but it's the best hotel award. Yes, and some of these will go faster than others because some of them are more obvious than others, and some may not be as fast. But each category will have a couple of nominees because more, some are better like location than others, but some of them have like all nominees because it depends on what it is. But anyway, that's how we're going to do it. We're going to talk the nominees, and then we're going to tell us what we think should win.
Indeed, that is what we will do.
Yeah.
All right, just so everybody's on the same page, all the deluxe resorts that we're going to talk about here, we have the Grand Floridian, the Polynesian, the Contemporary, Wilderness Lodge, Yacht Club, Beach Club, Boardwalk Inn, and Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Okay.
All right. So our first category is best location. And our nominees are Grand Floridian, the Boardwalk, Beach Club, Contemporary, and the Polynesian.
All right. So thinking location, obviously you've got the monorail resorts, which is Grand Floridian, Contemporary, and Poly. And then I put Boardwalk and Beach for the other two nominees because they're closest to EPCOT and around Crescent Lake and everything. I didn't put Yacht Club because it's a little farther away, but I guess you could include that too. So what do you think is the best location?
It depends on what your focus is. So it is subjective in that way. If you're wanting to go to EPCOT more, I think you'd be more drawn to like Boardwalk and Beach Club. Mm-hmm. The Boardwalk's a great location. If you're looking for Magic Kingdom, I think it's a no-brainer that it would be Contemporary just because you can walk right over and you still have access to the monorail to go over to EPCOT and the other resorts. With that being said, for me personally, that's a tough one. I really like Boardwalk.
Right. But do you think it's the best location?
I mean, if you like the Boardwalk like EPCOT, it's a solid location. Again, it really depends on what you focus on. But I think you could just say proximity to the parks, even though I don't really care for it too much, Contemporary would be the best location.
Okay, I'm actually going to agree with you on that one, and I have a few reasons. One, yes, it's the best location. You can walk to and from the resort. You can take the monorail to Contemporary, like at the end of the night. So there's like two different, I guess modes of transportation, which we'll talk about later. But also, it does have the best views of the fireworks.
That's true.
It is the closest to the fireworks of Magic Kingdom, and you can't beat that.
True.
So I would say best location is Contemporary.
Agreed.
Oh, we agree on that. Great.
I mean, that's what I had said, yeah. So
okay, good.
Technically, you agreed with me.
I did agree with you.
Just saying.
Okay, moving on to the next one then.
All right, next one would be best theming in the room. Are you talking about the rooms?
These are just in general, like theming of the resort.
So this would be all of them that we could talk about. What is your vote on best theming?
Okay, so I think Animal Kingdom Lodge has great theming, because of the animals. Like it's very African inspired, and I think that the lobby is beautiful and the theming of the lobby is beautiful. It's not technically my aesthetic that I enjoy, so I wouldn't pick that personally for me. But I enjoy the theming at Poly. I think it's excellent. I'm not a fan of Grand Floridian theming. It's okay.
I do think Grand Floridian in general is overrated.
Yeah. I enjoy Boardwalk. But I think the winner for me is Wilderness Lodge. And the reason it's Wilderness Lodge is because when I am there, I don't feel like I'm in Florida.
Until you go outside.
Yeah. It's just so woodsy. And again, the grand lobby and has that wood cabin kind of feel. I just think for me personally, it's the best theming for me. And that's just me. But that's what I would choose. So
to me, it's Wilderness Lodge or the Polynesian.
Okay.
And I think I agree that I would do Wilderness Lodge. Because I do think,
really?
Well, theming wise, I mean, especially around Christmas, you just can't beat it. Yeah. I like a good woodsy cabin. The older I've gotten, I tend to like, you know what? A cabin secluded from other places sounds kind of nice.
It does.
It does
sound nice.
And it has all those little places that are tucked away in the lobby upstairs. You can kind of like fireplaces and things.
It has a geyser.
It does. And it has, you've got Geyser Point right there, which is a great spot to eat and sit out there.
Yep.
So I think from theming wise, I really do like Wilderness Lodge. Like I still love the Polynesian, but I think Wilderness Lodge, also its price point is better than Polynesian. And I think that the theming and the immersion of it is actually better than the Polynesian.
Yeah. So that's our winner for that one?
I don't know who else would win. We both agreed.
Congratulations.
I mean, we can pick a new fight if we'd like.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying. They accept your award, Wilderness Lodge. There you go.
They are they're going to let me present for them. They want to thank everybody, their moms. That's basically all they said.
Okay.
I told them other than the bears that they have around there, I like their theming. All right, next category we have is best transportation. So the nominees here are Polynesian. You have the bus, monorail, the little boat, and you can walk. Grand Floridian, bus, monorail, also little boat and can walk. Contemporary, obviously you can walk. Bus, monorail, also little boat. Boardwalk, bus, Skyliner, and walking friendship boat.
Walking and friendship boats.
You have walking and the friendship boats, and then beach and yacht club are the same there.
Yeah. Basically, the difference is the Skyliner or the monorail.
Yeah.
In these two.
So I would say, given that a lot of these have the same type of transportation, I would go more than likely with Polynesian just because I like the resort the best out of most of those.
Have you had to choose one?
Yeah, like you know.
So I would actually choose Boardwalk. And the reason I choose Boardwalk is because it is not okay. So you can walk to EPCOT. You can also walk to Hollywood Studios. Mm-hmm. So you have two theme parks you can walk to, and the Skyliner buses and the boat. Boardwalk is also the last stop before EPCOT. So if you didn't want to walk, you just take the boat. So it's like right there. It's that last stop. Beach and yacht obviously are very similar in that, but because Boardwalk sits right by, it's like right, like closest to Hollywood Studios, and it's still close to EPCOT. That's why I chose that. Those two proximity of those.
But here's to me, when it comes to transportation, I don't want to rely on my own feet for that.
Okay, fair enough.
You're supposed to be on vacation.
You are.
I don't want to be told my mode of transportation is my own feet. Because I have to walk all the time in the theme parks anyways.
Okay, fair. That is fair.
To me, that is fair. I would much rather have a bus, a monorail, a boat take me around places.
Okay. If that's the case, if you don't want to count walking as like a mode.
I mean, it is a mode of transportation. I just don't think it's one that's like a perk.
Well, I said walking because like a place like Animal Kingdom Lodge, you can't walk to any of the parks.
You could. You gotta be very determined.
I mean,
it's a long walk.
Okay. Well, anyway.
You could hitchhike if you'd like.
Okay, if we're not counting walking though, then I would.
I mean, that's just my 2 cents.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. I'm going to still stick with Boardwalk because the Skyliner services 2 parks. So I'll say that. I'll say Boardwalk.
Well, again, for me personally, Skyliner's not my favorite mode. So,
I know. So you stick with Poly, I stick with Boardwalk. We can have 2 different ones. It's fine.
We'll have dual award winners.
Winners.
Actually, you know what we'll do? Remember how the Joker had like he breaks the pencil and tells him like breaks the pool cube and they got to fight it out? That's what they have to do.
Okay. Fight it out.
In a nice way. They're going to have a duel about it.
Okay.
So, all right. Okay. Next one. This one will be
interesting.
I think this will be very interesting here.
Yep.
Best dining. And this includes bars and lounges. You can do DVC dining as well. This does not include the pool bars.
They all have pool bars. They're all the same.
Get out of here, pool bars. All right. You're near a pool already. And there's mostly the same types of food, generally speaking.
Yeah. But. Okay. So Grand Floridian, you have Victoria and Albert's, Grand Flo Cafe, Citricos, Narcoossee's, Gasparilla Island, and Chain & Rose. Polynesian, you have Kona Cafe, Ohana, Wailulu, the new place in the Island Tower, Captain Cook's, Pineapple Lanai, Tambu Lounge, Trader Sam's. Contemporary, you have Steakhouse 71, Chef Mickey's, California Grill, Contempo Cafe, the Outer Rim Bar Lounge up there. Top of the World Lounge, kind of. It's DVC and it's very exclusive, so you can't all go up there, but it is there. Boardwalk has, get ready for this, Flying Fish, Trattoria Al Forno, Boardwalk Deli, The Cake Bake Shop, Carousel Coffee, Bellevue Lounge, Boardwalk Ice Cream, Abacadabra Bar, Blue Ribbon Corn Dogs, Marvelous Joe's Boardwalk Margaritas, and the Pizza Window.
But technically, they're not part of the resort.
Yes, they are.
Well,
yes,
not of the hotel.
Yes, they are.
But you have to like walk out.
You have to walk out for everything, except for 2
true.
things. Yeah, yes, they are. They are 100% part of the.
Yeah, but the general public can be there too.
General public can be in any of them.
Yeah, but it's different on the boardwalk.
It's still Boardwalk.
It's very people-y over there.
Okay. Beach Club has Cape May Cafe, Beaches and Cream, Martha's Vineyard, and Beach Club Marketplace. Yacht Club has Yachtsman, Ale and Compass Lounge, the Cruise Cup Lounge, and the Market at Ale and Compass. Wilderness Lodge has Whispering Canyon Cafe, Storybook Dining at Artist Point, Geyser Point Bar and Grill, Roaring Fork, and Territory Lounge. And there was a DVC lounge they used to have. I don't know if they have it anymore. And then Animal Kingdom Lodge has Jiko, the cooking place, Boma, Flavors of Africa, the Mara, Victoria Falls Lounge, Cape Town Lounge, Sanaa, and the Sanaa Lounge.
This is actually a pretty tough one.
Yeah.
Because my favorite restaurant, I would just say in general, at all the resorts would be Steakhouse 71.
It's really good.
And there is good food at Contemporary overall. I think as much as I don't care for the Contemporary from a design or like the room standpoint, but the location and the food is solid there.
Yeah.
Obviously, Polynesian is way up there as well.
It's hard, isn't it?
It is. I would probably go, given now you have Wailulu, is that how you say it? Wailulu over there at Polynesian, and you already have the offerings there. I'm kind of tempted to say Polynesian.
Yeah.
But I think Contemporary is not that far in second place.
Yeah.
At least to me.
So, yeah, this one's tough. There's a lot of good restaurants at the resort hotels at Disney. I would have probably I've never been in Jiko. We've never eaten in Jiko. If we have, we may rank Animal Kingdom Lodge higher, but we just haven't got to experience that. Same thing with Grand Floridian. Like, we've never had Victoria Albert's or Narcoossee's. I've had Citricos, but a long time ago. But Jared's never been there. But everything else, I think we've been to.
Grand Floridian is not my style.
It's not your thing. Yeah. So
I'm not saying the food isn't good, but
right. I would probably say Polynesian because I would say it's the most like, not unique, I guess unique kind of like the Trader Sam's. Like, it's always busy. It's always popular. I've never been to that one either. Pineapple Lot in Lanai where you can get Dole Whip. Like, you can only do Dole Whip at the parks or here, right? Can you get somewhere else?
I think there's a couple of places you can other than that. But yeah, for the most part.
But my point. So I would definitely say Polynesian. I don't care for Chef Mickey's at Contemporary. I do love Steakhouse 71 and California Grill is good, but that's pretty much it for me. I don't know. Wilderness Lodge is good though too. Like, we've had decent meals at Wilderness Lodge every time.
Yeah, but I feel like overall it doesn't have as good offerings, at least to me. I think overall Polynesian has the most it's got the most broad type stuff, and it's consistently really good as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably, I'll go with that.
So yeah, me personally, I would go with Polynesian.
Okay. We can do Polynesian. I mean, this is our list. We can award whoever we want to award. Let's do Polynesian, man.
This is true. I don't know who else would be having input in this. But yeah,
right.
This is true. All right, next category is Best Pool.
And the nominees are Beach and Yacht Club because they share this pool, and that's Stormalong Bay. Polynesian, you have the Lava Pool. And we can include the Moana Splash Pad. That's over in the Island Tower section. Include that. Animal Kingdom Lodge has the Samawati Springs. Grand Floridian has the beach pool. And Wilderness Lodge has the Copper Springs pool. So this one's kind of obvious for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think Stormalong Bay is the best pool on property. Has been for a very long time.
It is the only one you have to scan your Magic Band and get a wristband for.
Well,
like, you cannot get in unless you have a wristband.
Got to keep the riffraff out. Although I will say, I do really like the Wilderness Lodge pool. Not that it's grand, it has many things to do, and is big as Stormalong Bay. But when we stayed here with my brother and his family, and we went swimming at night, I love that because there's nothing about the pool that's like amazing, but you have the theming of the Wilderness Lodge. You're near the water over there. I do enjoy that pool.
Yeah.
It is nice, and you've got, Geyser Point right there. Like, you've got a lot of stuff around you, but I do think Stormalong Bay is the best pool.
Cream of the crop. It's big too. Like, it's a good size. You got the sand bottom on one part of it. You've got the lazy river. You can rent cabanas, which is nice. You got the pool bar, which Hurricane Hannah's is good. I mean, we've had that a couple times. You got the pirate ship with the giant slide. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's always busy.
That's what she said.
That's right.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just wanted to use it.
So, beach and yacht club.
Yeah, I think
The
so.
winners? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Congratulations.
Come accept your award. The next category we have is Best Resort Activities.
And the nominees are Animal Kingdom Lodge. You can do, obviously, with all of these, you can do like activities like some have volleyball, some have basketball courts, some have stuff like that.
Is this shirtless volleyball on a sand court with 80s music playing?
Maybe.
No?
No, it's not. I'm sorry.
It's not sand volleyball then.
But Animal Kingdom has the Starlight Safari, which you can take at night, and it's like night vision goggles you can use and look at the animals, which is kind of cool. They have like painting you could do there, as well as other things. Boardwalk, they've got all those boardwalk games and entertainment on the actual boardwalk at night and during the day sometimes. Jelly Rolls, which will be going away soon, and Atlantic City Dance Hall. Got that too.
Mm-hmm.
Polynesian and Contemporary and Grand Floridian, you can do fishing. You can rent watercraft rentals. You can do fireworks cruises, and you can watch the electrical water pageant. And at Grand Floridian, you can also go to the spa.
Mm-hmm.
So those are our nominees for this round.
What is your choice? Because I don't really know. I don't know. I don't have a favorite right now, so I could be persuaded.
They all do the campfires.
I do
and
like
they all
campfires.
do the movie Under the Stars, so you can't isolate those. I'd probably say, I don't know. I really like Boardwalk. I don't know.
I think if you want
Boardwalk
to more of a lively nighttime atmosphere, Boardwalk is what you would like. If you're into fishing and watercraft stuff, obviously like the Polynesian and those resorts have that stuff.
The fireworks cruises, but dock out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would almost say for variety, if you want the nightlife, Boardwalk. If you want more variety, I would say Polynesian, Grand Floridian, those types.
I would say Grand Floridian because they have the spa.
Yeah, true.
I would say that one for me just because they have all of that plus the spa, and that's very unique to that hotel. I mean, Coronado has a spa, and Saratoga still has a spa. I think it does. I can't remember, but anyway.
I don't really keep up on the spas too much.
Okay, but anyway, that would be my pick.
I will just go with your pick because I really am. I'm not passionate about this one, and I can't fake passion.
You can't fake passion.
Because apparently Jamie says you can tell when I don't care about something.
You sure can.
Or if I'm mad. I used to think I was actually good at hiding when I was mad until I got married.
Yep.
And then it was very obvious apparently when I'm mad.
Very obvious.
Or I don't care. And I'm like, apparently my face lets people know. I don't know.
Okay.
So on this one, I'll just go with what you pick. So Grand Floridian is fine with me.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to the next category, which is Best Views.
Best Views. Nominees can be all of them. So we'll just kind of talk about the ones that we feel are the top. Obviously Contemporary. If you have a theme park view, you can see Magic Kingdom. The only thing is you can also see lots of parking lot.
Depending on where you're at.
Depending on where you're at. Lots of parking lot in front of you, which is, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But if you got a water view, you could also look at the water on the other side of Bay Lake. Grand Floridian and Polynesian, they have views of Seven Seas, and you can see the castle views there too. Boardwalk. If you have a boardwalk view, it's nice to look at the water out there on Crescent Lake.
True.
Same thing with beach and yacht. I don't know though. I think the winner for me, it's probably gonna be. I don't know. One of the monorail resorts.
For me personally, I've always enjoyed the views at the Polynesian.
Okay.
I feel like you don't have bad views anywhere. At least you have like scenery to look at. You obviously can see the fireworks from many of the spots. Some of the spots you can see the castle, depending on where you're at.
Yeah.
Contemporary would have the best views of Magic Kingdom. So I think if you're talking like top level views, I think Contemporary would have that. So that may win over. But I think generally, I think the Polynesian has some of the best views overall. But if you're talking top tier view of anything, I think Contemporary would be the one that would have that just from the theme park view, as that's the closest one to a theme park.
So I'm going to say Polynesian too because of the new tower, just adding those terraces.
True.
So I'll go with you on that one just because that's a new thing and it's similar to Grand Floridian. I mean, Grand Floridian is closer, so it has like better views of the castle. But I feel like even if you don't have a theme park view, even though it's just like a standard view, usually your view is like the lush gardens of the plants and stuff.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, it has more general good views. Well, listen, welcome to the winning team.
And thank you. And their club level, that big window where they have the club level in there.
True.
I used to use there too. So, Contemporary definitely has a good view. I'm going to go with Poly on this one just because Contemporary has the parking lot in front of it.
Very true.
I'm just going to be picky that way.
Hey, that's fine. You can be picky. All right. The next and last category before I have our overall winner is best themed rooms.
All right. So the nominees are Grand Floridian, has touches of Mary Poppins. Polynesian has Moana. Contemporary are inspired by The Incredibles. And Animal Kingdom has touches of The Lion King in it.
I think for me, after we stayed at the Grand Floridian, although I don't care for the resort that much, I think it is pretty overrated. I do like the rooms. It had a lot of had a lot of nice touches to it that you don't find in all the rooms. Mm-hmm. Kind of an upscale feel. Very similar. I know we're not doing the DVCs, but like how the Riviera rooms are, which I really do enjoy a lot. It had kind of those types of vibes to it and like little finishes. I would say for me, second would be probably Polynesian. I think those are very well themed rooms. So I think it would come in. I think the Grand Floridian ones are well themed and they're, I guess you could say they're newer.
They're slightly newer.
But Polynesian is still good as well. But I think Grand Floridian to me has a little bit of a step up.
So those rooms are really pretty. And if we're doing just by the theming of the rooms, gosh, it was beautiful. I do like the Moana rooms though. We've never stayed in those. We've seen them.
I do like the Moana rooms. We've stayed in those
specifically.
Yeah.
Since they redid them. So, oh gosh, I love that Moana room though. Now I'm confused. What do I do?
You're confused?
Poly or Grand Floridian. I'll say Grand Floridian just because you also said that.
Well, but we could also, I like the Polynesian overall as a resort better.
Shh, don't bury the lead. We haven't done that yet.
Well, I'm just saying I like it better than, I've made it very known. I don't really care for the Grand Floridian that much, but.
Yeah. Well, let's just do Grand Floridian. I like it too, so.
Okay, fine.
Yep.
All right. Well, that brings us to the overall Best Picture nominee.
All right.
Or Best Resort.
Best Hotel nominees.
Best Deluxe Resort, which is all the ones that we listed above.
So do you want me to read those?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Here are the nominees for Best Deluxe Hotel at Disney World. We got Contemporary, Wilderness Lodge, Polynesian, Boardwalk, Beach and Yacht Club, but that's just for the pool, and then Grand Floridian.
So over the year, I know if you've been listening to us
since the beginning of time.
I just said over the years, but okay. Since I was a wee lad. No, I mean if you've listened to this show over the years, you'll know that we love the Polynesian.
Yeah.
But over the years, the Wilderness Lodge has moved up in the rankings for me. Mm-hmm. A lot. Mm-hmm. I'm a little torn between Polynesian and Wilderness Lodge.
Okay.
Now, one of the things about Wilderness Lodge that also gives it a little bit of an edge over is price. It's not, Polynesian pricing has gotten insane.
Yeah.
To the point where I don't think the price anywhere, as much as I like the Polynesian, I don't think the price justifies, I don't think it's worth staying there necessarily.
Okay.
I do like it. And all the Disney hotels are going to be expensive, at least the deluxe ones here. But I do think Wilderness Lodge, the more I think about it, and the overall aesthetics of it and just how it makes you feel like you're somewhere else and the lobby, all that stuff, the woodsy feel to it. And as I've gotten older, I like being in a cabin away from other things. I kind of am tempted to say Wilderness Lodge. This may come as a surprise to you. I don't know if I've ever told you this before.
You've never said it this way, as in it's moved up for you.
I have my secrets.
Okay. So I am going to not be shocked to anybody. I'm going to stick with Polynesian on this one for a couple reasons. One, the room size. So the longhouses, the original hotel, and the DVC portion that's not the Island Tower have some of the biggest rooms on the entire Disney resort.
Mm-hmm.
Big rooms are nice. The DVC portion, they have that extra bathroom. The non-DVC portion still is really big. So you have it's roomy for kids and everything, for families or whatever. You've got all of the dining that comes with it. You can get Dole Whips. You've got views of the castle from the pool.
True.
Which is cool. You can walk from the TTC to Polynesian. You can take the monorail easily to get, to Magic Kingdom. You can take the boat back if you want to. You can take the monorail over if you want to. You've got transportation from the monorail to EPCOT. The ceremonial house has a lot of nostalgia for me. I guess the resort in general does, because it was the first place we stayed with our daughter. And so for me, it's going to be Polynesian.
Well, I don't hate the Polynesian.
Didn't say it.
Yeah.
But those are my reasons.
Well.
So which one are we choosing?
I mean, overall, I think
it's hard, isn't it?
We could flip a coin.
I'm not flipping it. You want to flip a coin to see which is the
I'm
best?
just saying. Listen, okay, I will say, I can stick to how it's been with, I do love the Polynesian. Mm-hmm. At the very least, if the Polynesian is still number one, Wilderness Lodge maybe is number two now.
Okay.
It has moved way up. I honestly, if you were to ask me, I would, many times I would rather stay at Wilderness Lodge than the Polynesian.
I do love it too.
But I can agree, Polynesian is still, it's a goated resort. Mm-hmm. But I do think the pricing has gotten wild over the years there. But
yeah,
I can agree just how we've always talked about it. But Wilderness Lodge it's moved up in my heart.
Okay. Well,
but at Christmas time, I think Wilderness Lodge is undoubtedly number one.
Oh, for sure. For sure. If we're talking about Christmas, 100% number one.
Yeah. I mean, I can agree. So we don't have
hard.
to fight it out, or we don't have to flip a coin.
We can have two winners.
Fine. Dual winners. The Polynesian and Wilderness Lodge.
Yeah.
They have to fight it out.
Yeah. Polynesian, Wilderness Lodge. And if we're saying all resorts of all time, it's Poly, Riviera, Wilderness Lodge for me.
Yeah, Riviera's up there somewhere.
Yeah, it is.
I'd say it's definitely Poly, Wilderness Lodge, and Riviera in the top three.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad we're married and have the same ones. That's great.
It makes me want to put something else in there.
Makes things easier. I'm not being mean. I'm being
kidding.
serious.
I just like to be unpredictable.
All right, so winners are Polynesian and Wilderness Lodge. Come accept your awards.
They're taking a long time to get here. We'll just hold it for them.
And let us know if you agree or disagree with us. Facebook.
Yes.
We're on social media.
Listen, this is the internet. I'm sure everybody's going to agree.
Everybody's going to agree.
And they're going to be really cool. And they're going to be, as I found out through YouTube, they're going to be really cool about it and chill when they disagree.
And I know there's a lot of people out there that love Animal Kingdom Lodge. And we gave almost hardly any love to it.
It's not that I hate it.
It's not our vibe.
It's not the aesthetic I like. It's not something that, it's fine. I don't think it's bad. It's just not something that it doesn't fit my vibe.
Guess how long it's been since we stayed there?
1976.
10 years.
Well,
it's been 10 years. Our kids never said there, but
they would probably enjoy it with the animals.
I think so too. But anyway, so congratulations to our winners.
And congratulations to you listening for you played along if you did. And if you didn't, then you don't get a congratulations. I don't know.
All right.
All right. Well, I think that'll do it for our show and the award show.
Thank you.
We may do more of these. We could do more award shows for different things on property, which is always fun to do.
Maybe.
But either way, that's going to conclude the show.
All right.
So before you go, be sure to check us out on social media. We're at Cap the Magic everywhere, including TikTok, as long as it's around. We changed that one over. So they're all Cap the Magic. So follow us on all those, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I don't think we're on Snapchat, but I've never used Snapchat. So other than that one, we're on all the other ones. Okay. Also, be sure to check us out on YouTube if you want video versions of the show at CTM Podcast on YouTube, and over on at Captain Magic on YouTube, kind of the main YouTube channel. We hit over 10,000 subs over there, so that's exciting. We're I think technically at 10,200 and something now, so it's kind of picked up. And I used to do 1 to 2 videos a day over there on a lot of times the business end of things or just updates, theme parks and pop culture. So you can check that out over there. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe over there. And then we have other shows on the network. And we have the CTM Universal show, which is our show about Universal Studios. We'll have a new one there coming out on Monday. As there's lots of updates starting to roll out about Epic Universe, as that's opening in May. And that will become a weekly show as we get closer to Epic Universe, because there's going to be lots of things to talk about as that new park opens and everything like that. So you can check that out. That's twice a month. And eventually that'll be weekly there. And then Jamie has Trip Tales, which is her trip report show. Mm-hmm. And you just had one come out on Monday?
I did. I'll have another one come out mid-March. And if you'd like to be a guest on a future episode, please go to ctmtriptales.com, fill out the information, and if I am interested in your trip, I will select you to be my guest.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And of course, if you want to contribute to the show, want to be part of a good group, a place to ask questions about a trip coming up, or just interact with other people that enjoy the show and go to theme parks a lot, you can check out Club 32. And if Club 33 was too expensive to you, you don't have $35,000, $50,000 laying around per year, Club 32 is probably a little cheaper option. And in there, you have a private Facebook group. You get 20% off of CTM apparel and 1901 Candle Company products year round. You have additional content. We do weekly live streams. We a lot of times do live streams from like the resort rooms that we're staying at. We have meetups. There is the Clubhouse show going on. There is the private podcast feed, which is now fixed. So if you need access to the podcast feed, you can, in the Facebook group, just either make a post about it. I did have a post in there about putting your email address in there, or you can email us at hello@ctm.show, or on social media, you can message us as well. I'll get that fixed up for you. But we got music loops and all the content on there you can check out at your leisure. And like I said, the Facebook group's a great place to lean on if you got questions on trips or want opinions from other people that go to parks a lot. You can ask them in there, and it's a kind of a nice asset to have there. But if you want to go join there, you go to ctmvip.com. We have monthly or yearly options, and we even have a free trial if you want to try it out before you commit to it fully, or you can do a yearly subscription and get a free t-shirt. So either way, you get something for free. So if you want to check that out and be a part of it, go to ctmvip.com. If you'd like to join, we would love to have you. And that'll do it for the show. So thank you, everybody, for listening and or watching. And thank you, Jamie, for joining us.
Thank you.
And as Jamie always likes to say,
we will see you in the parks.
Bye.